Checkmate before the game even started. Before I made a move, Devil thought he the boy control. Thought he had something to prove, but the king already saw the whole match to the final square. Checkmate on the enemy, victory was always there. He moved his pieces, careful move with strategy and time. Sacrificed upon a two, thought he was gonna climb his way into a winning position. Thought he had the edge, but he forgot who's really playing. Forgot who set the ledge of every single outcome before the pieces ever touched the board. Before the opening move, before the whole thing was clutched in his own hand. Thought he was controlling the whole game, didn't realize the real king already called the exact frame of how it ends. Checkmate, written in before the start. Every move he thought was clever was already known, already charted on a map that only the king could see, completely see it whole. Checkmate before he opened, checkmate for the soul. The wisdom of the wise gets frustrated by the plan. Checkmate already written by an unstoppable hand. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Every scheme he's building crumbles at the final gate. He thought he had the board, thought he had the win in sight. Checkmate on the enemy, and the king still holds the light. Every piece he sacrificed just fed into the trap. Yeah. Checkmate was decided before he made the very first snap. I don't panic when I see him moving pieces on the board, cause I already read the ending, already seen the final chord. That this whole symphony resolves to already know the score. Checkmate's already written, he just doesn't know it yet for sure. He'll keep playing like he's winning, keep advancing like he's strong, but every move's leading closer to the moment he'll be wrong about the whole entire outcome, about who's really in control. Checkmate for the enemy, victory for every soul. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Every scheme he's building crumbles at the final gate. He thought he had the board, thought he had the win in sight. Checkmate on the enemy, and the king still holds the light. Every piece he sacrificed just fed into the trap. Checkmate was decided before he made the very first snap. The dragon knows his time is short, that's why he rages hard. But rage don't change the outcome, rage don't change the guard. Already posted at the gate, already sealed the score. Checkmate for the enemy forevermore. So let him move his pieces, let him think he's got a chance. Let him keep believing in his own elaborate dance. Round the board like he's controlling, like he's calling every shot. Checkmate already happened at the cross and he forgot. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. The king already won it, already sealed the fate. Every scheme collapses, every plan gets overthrown. Checkmate for the enemy, and the throne's already known. Everything you see is just the front stage, just a show. Backstage is where the actual power moves, where the real things grow. Unseen realm running the whole visible display. Backstage is where the war gets won before it hits the stage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I used to only focus on the front stage of my life, the visible results, the surface, the applause, the daily strife that everybody sees. But I forgot the actual scene happening backstage, in the spirit happening unseen, where the actual decisions get made, where the actual war gets fought and finished long before it hits the front stage floor. Prayer is backstage work, worship moves the actual set. Backstage is where the breakthrough happens before it's ever met. By the front stage, audience clapping for the visible result, not realizing the real work happening in a hidden vault. A spiritual reality that the natural eye can't see. Backstage is where the kingdom operates. Backstage is where I'm free. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, that's the backstage fight. The front stage is just the outcome of the backstage light. Backstage, Before it, everything visible comes from what's unseen. Backstage is where I stand. I stopped trying to fix the front stage without going backstage first. Stop trying to manage symptoms while ignoring the actual source, the worst of what's actually happening behind a visible display. Backstage prayer, backstage worship, backstage every single day. That's where I do my actual work. Now that's where the change begins. Front stage just reflects whatever's happening backstage, whatever wins. The battle in the unseen realm before it's ever shown. Backstage is where I'm building now. Backstage is my home. Backstage, backstage, that's where the real war happens. That's where the real page gets written before the front stage ever shows the scene. Backstage is where I'm fight. Backstage is where I'm clean. Before it, everything visible comes from what's unseen. Backstage is where the power moves. Backstage is where I lean. The things which you seen are temporary, made to fade. The things unseen are eternal, that's the backstage trade. I'm investing in the hidden, investing in the real. Backstage is where eternity actually gets to feel. So if your front stage looks like chaos, looks like everything's collapsing still, go backstage and check the actual work, check the actual will. Being done behind the curtain, being fought behind the scene. Backstage determines everything the front stage is ever seen. Backstage, backstage, that's where the actual victory gets written on a page. Front stage just shows the aftermath. Front stage just shows the fruit. Backstage is where the real war's won. Backstage is the truth. Undefeated, undefeated. Undefeated, but I didn't win a single round myself. Every fight got fought and finished by somebody else. I just walked into the ring wearing the name, not my own. Undefeated record, standing on the throne I didn't build alone. I used to count my losses, count every single fall. Thought my record told a story, thought it summed it all up into a permanent reputation I can never shake. But then I found out whose record I was walking in, whose stake was actually claimed in my behalf before I threw a punch. Undefeated, not by my own effort, not by my own crunch of willpower, determination, but a righteousness applied to my whole account. Like I'm the one who never lost, never lied, never failed, never took a single hit. Undefeated record credited, and I'm walking in it. Not because I earned the crown, not because I fought the fight. Undefeated cause the champion already claimed the title, claimed the right. More than conquerors through him who loved us, that's the actual score. Undefeated in a battle I never had to fight before. Undefeated, undefeated. Every round already fought, every victory completed by a champion who took the hits so I could take the crown. Undefeated record standing and it never can go down. I ain't lost a single fight that mattered in the end. Undefeated cause of Jesus, undefeated my friend. Some days it don't feel undefeated, feel like I'm losing ground. Feel the pressure of the battle, feel the weight all around. But the record ain't determined by the feeling of the fight, it's determined by the champion who already won the right to call me victorious, to call the record clean. Undefeated ain't a feeling, it's the truest thing I've seen, written into my account before I do a single blow. Undefeated cause of cavalry, and that's the only flow. Undefeated, undefeated. Every round already fought, every victory completed by a champion who took the hits so I could take the crown. Undefeated record standing and it never can go down. I ain't lost a single fight that mattered in the end. because of Jesus. Undefeated, my friend. Yeah. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory. That's the closing line. Undefeated not by effort, undefeated by design. Of a champion who fought the whole war on the cross. Undefeated forever, and it's never at a loss. So when the enemy tried to remind me of an no defeat, I point him to the actual record, point him to the receipt. Signed in blood, sealed at Calvary. Undefeated from the start, undefeated forever. And it's written on my heart, undefeated. Every battle that could break me already got defeated by a champion who never lost a single fight. Undefeated forever, and I'm walking in the light. Working a night shift while the whole world's asleep. Kingdom don't clock out, kingdom don't miss a single beat. Everybody resting, everybody dreaming, everybody's out. But the night shift is where I do my clearest, quietest shout. The world runs on daylight hours, runs on visible applause. Everybody clocking in when the crowd is watching, when there's cause for recognition. But the kingdom operates a different way. Night shift prayer warriors moving while the whole world's asleep, okay. Working overtime in the spirit while nobody's keeping score. Building in the darkness, what shows up bright at daylight's door. Nobody sees the night shift, nobody claps for what gets done. When the only witness watching is the Father and the Son. But that's exactly where the deepest work always gets completed. Night shift faithfulness is where the greatest saints get seated. Closest to the heart of what actually moves the kingdom forward. Night shift is unglamorous, but night shift ain't ignored. He neither slumbers nor sleeps, he's working through the night. Night shift's not alone work, he's clocked in and he's tight. Night shift, working while the world sleeps. Working through the drift of hours, nobody's watching hours, nobody applauds. Night shift is where I'm building. Night shift is for God, nobody sees the effort, but the effort ain't in vain. Night shift faithfulness gets rewarded, gets its own domain. I stop needing the daylight crowd to validate my work. Stop needing recognition for the hours in the murk of unseen faithfulness, unseen prayer, unseen sacrifice. Night shift taught me the kingdom don't run on human applause. The price of visibility, it runs on faithfulness in the dark, where nobody's watching but the only witness that remarks on every single hour, every single moment spent. Night shift is my calling and I'm fully evident. Night shift, working while the world sleeps. Working through the drift of hours, nobody's watching hours, nobody applauds. Night shift is where I'm building. Night shift is for God, nobody sees the effort, but the effort ain't in vain. Night shift faithfulness gets rewarded, gets its own domain. Your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Night shift work don't stay hidden, night shift work gets seen eventually. By the only eyes that matter, by the only true reward. Night shift faithfulness is treasure, night shift is restored. So if your work feels invisible, feels like nobody's proud, know the night shift's building something that'll one day shout out loud. When the daylight finally breaks and everything comes to light, night shift faithfulness gets crowned for every single night. Night shift, building in the darkness, building through the drift. One day the daylight comes and shows a whole report. Night shift was never wasted, night shift was the work. Yeah, oh yeah, warrant out on my old name, I'm still looking for the file. Trying to arrest a man who's already walking free for a while. Warrant expired the moment the blood signed off on the case. Hell keeps searching for a criminal that don't exist in this place. They keep circulating my photo, keep passing out the sheet. Warrant for arrest on a person that don't walk these streets no more. That identity got buried, the die got baptized. Went under one man, came up completely reorganized. New paperwork, new record, new everything from head to toe. But the warrant office never got the memo, Never got to know that the case got dismissed completely, that the file got sealed shut. Warrants chasing the ghost, and now warrants chasing what got cut off from my existence, off from my actual name. Hell keeps sending bounty hunters, but they keep missing the aim. Cause the target that they're chasing died 2,000 years ago on a hill outside Jerusalem. And the new me, they don't know. Old things pass away, everything's become brand new. Warring for the old me, but he's not who I answer to. Warren, still circulating for a man that's gone, that's absent. Hell keeps chasing shadows, hell keeps chasing dust. Warrants expire completely, and the new me's what they'll trust. Whether to leave it or not, whether the chase goes on. Warrant for a dead man, and the dead man's gone. Sometimes an old warrant tries to catch up, tries to reappear. Sends a familiar trigger, sends an old familiar fear. Trying to convince me that the case is somehow still alive. But I check the actual paperwork, check the actual archive. Case closed, name changed, sentence fully satisfied. Warrant for the old resident, but that man already died. I don't run from the warrant no more, don't hide behind a mask. I just point them to the cross and let the cross do the task. Warrant, still circulating for a man that's gone, that's absent. Hell keeps chasing shadows, hell keeps chasing dust. Warrants expire completely, and the new me's what they'll trust. Whether they believe it or not, whether the chase goes on. Warrant for a dead man, and the dead man. The accuser of the brethren got cast down for good. Warrants got no jurisdiction where the blood is stood. Between me and every charge he's trying to reinstate. Warrant expired at the cross, warrant sealed by grace. So let him keep the file open, let him keep the case alive. In his own imagination, in his own archive. I already got the pardon, already got the seal. Warrant means nothing to a man whose freedom is this real. Warrant expired forever, canceled, absolutely vacant. He can chase the paperwork forever if he needs. Warrant's dead and buried, and so is the old me. Yeah. Flatline on the monitor, flatline where my heart should beat. Everybody called the time of death, everybody made the sheet, ready for the cover, ready for the final call of somebody walked in the room before the flatline got a start. I was flatline spiritually, long before the world could tell. Going through the motions of a life that felt like it fell off the actual grid of purpose, off the actual grid of feeling. Flatline on the inside while the outside kept on dealing with appointments, with obligations, with a smile that hid the truth. Flatline don't discriminate by age. Flatline hit my youth, and nobody around me had the equipment to detect the silence where the pulse should be, the absence they'd expect to see on the monitor if they were looking close enough. But then the great physician walked in, felt my chest, called my bluff, said this one's not finished, said this heart's about to restart. Flatline turned the rhythm to second, grace touched my heart. He gives life to the dead, calls things that are not as though they are. Flatline to a heartbeat that ain't never been too far. Flatline, everybody called it every drew the deadline. But the great physician don't accept the diagnosis given. Flatline turned to living, flatline turned to risen. Every monitor that showed nothing now shows a steady beat. Flatline was reversed and the rhythms are now complete. I remember the exact moment the beeping started up again. Not on a hospital monitor, but somewhere deep within my actual spirit, actual will to live, actual desire. Flatline turned to heartbeat, flatline turned to fire that hadn't burned in years, that everybody thought was out. Flatline reversed completely, and now I get to shout about the great physician who don't give up on a flatline case. Flatline turned to living testimony, flatline turned to grace. Flatline, everybody called it every drew the deadline. But the great physician don't accept the diagnosis given. Flatline turned to living, flatline turned to risen. Every monitor that showed nothing now shows a steady beat. line was reversed and the rhythm's now complete. Lazarus was 4 days gone, everybody caught it too. Flatline don't scare the one who spoke and brought him through. Come for still echoes for every flatline case today. Flatline turn to living and it never fades away. So if you feel flatline right now, feel like the pulse is gone, or the great physician's walking in before too long. He don't give up on a flatline, don't call it permanent. Flatline turn to heartbeat, that's exactly what he meant. Flatline, no longer the diagnosis, no longer the deadline. I got a heartbeat now that nobody can explain. Flatline turn to living and I'll never be the same. Yeah. Deep cover in a system I don't actually belong to. Blending with the culture but reporting to a different value. Kingdom agent walking through a world that don't know my name. Deep cover called, deep cover sent, but never quite the same. Yeah, ayy. I move through there every day like everybody moving to. Same job, same block, same struggle, same everyday view. But underneath the surface I'm reporting somewhere else. Deep cover for the kingdom, undercover but myself. Never fully compromised, never fully lost a mission. Just positioned in the middle of the world's whole competition. For attention, for allegiance, for the way that people live. Deep cover means I'm in it, but I'm not what I appear to give. My full loyalty to, I'm just playing it here for now. Gathering the lost ones, showing them the different how of living that's available to different kind of light. Deep cover agent walking through the darkest kind of night in the world, but not of it, that's the actual cover story. Deep cover for the kingdom, deep cover for the glory. Deep cover, blending with the culture but reporting to another kingdom that don't operate the way the system does. Deep cover on assignment and I know just who I was. Sent by, called by, answering to a different chain. Deep cover in the darkness, but I carry the flame. Sometimes the mission gets exposed, sometimes they figure out I'm not fully theirs, not fully bought into what they're about. But that's when the actual work begins, that's when the light gets seen. Deep cover was never meant to stay completely unseen. Forever it's meant to blend in long enough to plant seeds of a different kingdom in a soil that seemed to slant against the truth. But deep cover agents change the game from the inside out, and nothing stays completely the same. Deep cover, blending with the culture but reporting to another kingdom that don't operate the way the system does. Deep cover on assignment and I know just who I was. Sent by, called by, answering to a different chain. Deep cover in the darkness, but I carry the flame. I have chosen you out of the world, that's the actual brief. Deep cover doesn't mean hidden faith, doesn't mean concealed belief. It means position strategic, planning with a purpose clear. Deep cover for the kingdom, and the harvest field is here. So if you feel like an outsider blending in a world that's strange, know the mission's intentional, know it's meant for change. You ain't compromised by walking through the darkness with the light. Deep cover for the kingdom, deep cover for the fight. Deep cover, reporting to a kingdom this whole system tries to smother, but the mission's still in motion, still expanding through the dark. Deep cover for the kingdom, and I'm leaving my whole mark. Loose ends everywhere I look, nothing tied completely right. Every relationship, every wound just hanging out of sight. But the finisher don't leave a project incomplete for long. Loose ends getting tied together, and the story's turning strong. Yeah. I had loose ends from my childhood, loose ends from every year, trailing behind me like a rope that never got tied clear into something purposeful, into something that made sense. Every loose end representing unresolved consequence of decisions, of trauma, of moments I couldn't fix. Thought I carried them forever, thought they stay a permanent mix of regret and confusion. But the author of my life doesn't leave a story open, doesn't leave unfinished strife hanging without resolution. He's the God who finishes strong. Every loose end I was carrying, he's been tying all along. In the background, in the waiting, in the seasons I couldn't see. Loose ends becoming knots of purpose, becoming part of me. He who began a good work in you will finish what he's planned. Loose ends don't stay loose forever in the finisher's head. Loose ends, getting tied together by a hand that never bends. Under the weight of unresolved, under the weight of unclear. Loose ends becoming purpose, watch the whole thing come near to completion, to resolution, to a story fully told. Loose ends don't stay open, watch the finisher unfold. I stopped trying to tie the ends myself, stopped forcing the resolve on timelines that weren't ready, on wounds that needed to evolve at their own pace in their own season, with the finisher in charge. Loose ends untangled different when you let the process be large enough for actual healing, actual closure, actual grace. Not rushed, not forced, but woven perfectly into place by a master weaver who don't waste a single thread. Loose ends becoming tapestry, exactly like he said. Loose ends, getting tied together by a hand that never bends. Under the weight of unresolved, under the weight of unclear. Loose ends becoming purpose, watch the whole thing come near to completion, to resolution, to a story fully told. Loose ends don't stay open, watch the finisher unfold. All things work together for good, that's the promise on the page. Loose ends becoming purpose, page by page by page. Nothing wasted, nothing forgotten, nothing left undone. Loose ends tied together underneath the sun. So if you're still carrying loose ends, still feeling incomplete, know the finish is already working, no it's not defeat. Every unresolved thread is being woven into place. Loose ends becoming beauty in the finisher's grace.